Okay, welcome back to my Let's Play of Fire Emblem Engage on the Switch. And the final video of this sort of unique look at the Fire Emblem franchise for me. This is part 3 of the most recent game. And I think when the next Fire Emblem comes out, I'll be most likely just doing a full Let's Play of it. So, yeah, this is the end of this kind of unique format and look at Fire Emblem. And I didn't get as far into Engage on my own as I'd like, but you can blame this map. Divine Paralog, the Ancestors, is an optional map, and I was like, okay, I'll just go do this. Get some more XP, grind up. I don't mind being, you know, kind of powerful. That sounds good. No, it was not good. I spent like 2 hours on this map. Like, just an absurd amount of time. And then at the end, I failed. I could have accepted the win. I could have done it. I would have lost, I think, 2 or maybe 3 characters. And I could have just said, fuck it, and moved on. And the characters that survived got just a shit ton of XP. Like, it was absurd. No. Yeah, like Fram, I recall, right at the end, hit level 16. So, yeah. I mean, there was a lot of XP because basically partway through this map, they start sending in reinforcements. And as soon as, like 3 reinforcements from the bottom of the map. And as soon as you kill those, 3 more reinforcements come in from the same spot. And that goes on forever until you finish. I didn't realize that. So I was just like killing them for a good while. That was a good chunk of the 2 hours. Until eventually I was like, I think this is going to go on forever unless I move on. And so then I finally did move on, and that ended up being my doom. Because then it just triggered all sorts of shit. And like the final boss and all that. And it was just... it was fucked. So this is the straw that broke the camel's back. And once I failed that after 2 hours, I was like, I am now burned out. I am done. So that's what did it. Really nothing against Fire Emblem Engage at all. I think it is kind of a rough map, just going in blind. On hard difficulty for me. But it's definitely doable, especially with foreknowledge now. Like, if I was going to do this again, I would bring in a second archer and just, yeah, I would leave like Celine behind and bring in a second archer, and it probably really wouldn't be that bad. But I just don't have the will inside of me to do it. So we're just going to move on. I think I want to say somebody should be able to go to an advanced class, I would think. Fram, you can become a martial master. They excel at hand-to-hand combat as well as healing. It's really kind of funny because I don't ever punch with her. She's my cleric, you know. I don't throw her into the fray like that. She has 24 HP. So if I wanted her to just be more of a traditional healer, does that even exist? Sage, I guess, but you'd have to be mage level 10. Oh, the High Priest. There you go. But that you have to be... I have to have proficiency in tomes. So I think I'd have to throw on Celica? No. Yes? Probably Celica. And she'd have to just have Celica on for a while, but then she could become a high priest, which is probably more what I'm looking for. Oh, and they can target themselves with healing staves. That's great. Alfred, of course. He can become all sorts of stuff. He can become Avenir. Dashing prince who rides a white horse into battle, excels with a lance and serviceable with a blade. Yeah, I mean, that's probably the way to go. He still gets a horse. Otherwise, you know, you could go with like a sword cavalier. But I feel like this is unique to him, so yeah. Beautiful. Maybe I should have done that before going into that fucking level. Etty can become a sniper. Ooh, that's good too. Sure. Love to see it. You love to see it. It's all very cool and flashy. That might be all the master seals I have. Yeah, I have second seal, so I could change base classes. But I don't know who I would want to do that. Maybe with Anna. She's really not great as an axe fighter. Axe Flyer, that's pretty cool. Or just an Axe Cavalier. Now, what's interesting is they give this rating. What exactly is that? Is that just the sum of all the stats? That's what it looks like. 20, 35... 55. No? There must be something more to it. Rating. This is... okay. Well, you can't just Google Fire Emblem Engage rating, because then it just talks about review scores and stuff. What the fuck? How am I supposed to Google this? I have no idea. I have no idea what it's meant to be. Unless I did my math wrong, but I don't think it adds up to 70. Hold on. This is such a minor, stupid thing that I'm wasting time with. But here we are. No, that adds up to 66. Oh, probably build then adds it to 70. Okay. So mostly just, yeah, an accumulation of stats. Well, then Axe Flyer gives her the biggest bump in stats, so fuck it. Cool. She did lose a lot of strength. But her biggest problem is hitting stuff. So I think that the bump in dex should help a little bit. Aside from that, I don't really care too much. So there's random battles, skirmishes you can do, of course. They give a suggested level. This is base class level 13, which is technically higher than what I am, so I don't know how I'm falling behind there. But let's just do a chapter, I guess. How hard could it be? How hard could it be? So, yeah, I mean, overall, Engage is pretty good. Pretty good. I definitely would rank it higher than Three Houses for me. Because there's a lot of interesting stuff going on with the gameplay. The Engage system, the brake system.
The storm keeps getting harsher.
We must drive back Princess Ivy's forces.
I do like, in theory, the reclassing system and the flexibility available there. Again, I don't know how it works out, like endgame in the long run. I just can't comment on that, but sure, let's just do it.
The snow's really swirling now. I wonder if I'll be able to find Prince Diamant. Couldn't be a worse time for meditation. But I've got to clear my head.
There's certainly like a feeling of, I don't know, Genshin Impact to this game. And it made me think like, oh, you know, I wonder when they're ever going to do a true Fire Emblem gacha game akin to Genshin Impact. And apparently that already exists. And it's been out for years. It's called Fire Emblem Heroes. It's now like 6 years old. And yeah, it has characters throughout the whole franchise in it, and it's got PvE, it's got PvP, and you know, it's a mobile game. And it's still going on, it's still being updated and all that sort of stuff. I don't know if it's any good. It's not something that I would ever play, because it definitely looks like just kind of a crappy phone game. But I wouldn't be shocked if in the future we get something on the caliber of, say, Genshin Impact, but with Fire Emblem as just kind of an ongoing thing, rather than just, you know, here's our big new release, enjoy it for the next couple years, and then we'll have another big new release. I don't know. I'm not saying it would be a good thing. I'm just saying, like, I think it'll happen at some point. Okay, so we gotta get Diamant to Jade here. And this is Diamant. We've got some Pegasus Knights on both sides. Probably should have looked at that and brought more than one archer, as usual. For whatever reason, it feels like archers are kind of important in this one. Like, I feel like you could be pretty happy bringing 2 archers to every battle.
My will is firm.
I don't know, maybe it's just me. A lot of Pegasus Knights and stuff.
Understood.
You got it.
All right.
Whatever you need. Your steward's ready.
I fear that
Princess Ivy, did the king perhaps...
No. This time with no if you want to leave.
What will you do?
Yeah.
So much for meditation.
Yeah, it seems like they're getting through your defenses. Pretty handily, actually. What kind of fucking tank are you? Oh, okay, she heals. Well, that's just wonderful. Why do you heal? Just because. Oh, maybe on her turn. Yeah, on her turn she used a vulnerary. Right. I mean, can Anna assist? Is that something that could ever happen? Not really. These are armored targets. And she does not have any great way of penetrating armor. Fair is fair. We're going to use a Lear as much as we want because doesn't really matter at this point. Has Ryder's Bane never worked on Pegasus? I need to look this up. Has it? I feel like it has at some point. It's been in the games since the first one. Apparently, no. It has only ever been good against cavalry. I mean, based on the name, you would assume. Because it's gone by names like Rider's Bane and Beast Killer and stuff. Or maybe Beast Killer is a separate weapon, but I feel like but Pegasus are already, like, kind of fragile enough. Having Rider's Bane work on them would just be even more of a slap in the face. Here, let's punch. Get punched on, yeah! Martial arts. Surely we can do something better. Yeah, 6 damage with it. God, her strength has plummeted. And to send Alfred over with a javelin. She should have... Someone should have wind. You have wind. Don't have wind. Someone had wind at some point. I guess I lost it. She does have a sword. That's something. There's still a lot of work to kill 2 Pegasus Knights without an archer over here. Okay. Works for me. No, we best stay. So he could, but probably so could she. No, not quite, I guess. Damn, you can't get any sort of follow-up. Alright, then yes, you shall. Fine. That's pretty good. See, brakes. It's an interesting thing because you can't just steamroll as much as you might wish to. I could engage. We'd get access to Shine. I don't know if it's very good. It's not great. Oh! Oh, RNG, so kind. Yes, yes, yes. Alright, you're gonna go here. I'd really prefer you to not miss. Fuck my face. I think we just lost Anna, to be honest. I'm not sure why I did it that way. As he can't kill that one anyways. Probably should engage, I guess.
Stand down or perish.
I really want this thing dead. Blazing Lion. No, I think you can just Lance Reaver. But now, if I'm gonna Lance Reaver and just slaughter it anyways... why wouldn't I Lance Reaver and slaughter it anyways? Like so. See, now there the RNG changed, and I'm not sure why. I'm okay with it. I'm just not sure why. I'm a-coming. Armor Slayer. Boom. 78 damage. Eat my shit. Good. Good, good. It's all going okay. Depending on if Clan can actually survive this shot. Nope, they didn't come in. They went for the fort.
All right.
To get reinforcements.
Bring out the...
Another thing, you can't be broken if you're standing on a fort, which is another little twist.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Make it more strategic.
I am Jade. May I join your rank?
Yeah, you can join. That's great. Yeah, just...
Understood.
There. Should we wait? We probably should wait. No harm's ever been done by waiting. Unless, of course, there's infinite reinforcements again, which is now just the bane of my existence. See, I like to see that. That makes me happy. Yeah, there you go. Break them. Punch the shit out of them. Oh, you missed. You missed so much. God damn it. I mean, I could light it on fire, but to what end? I guess just because it's cool. It's cool. Immunity to silence. Now, she's not going to hit very hard. She's going to hit pretty hard if she hits, of which she has a 0% chance. Hence why he went there. That clever little bee. So we'll just wait. It's probably not going to move off that forest. I should have lit that shit on fire. What was I thinking? Kagetsu and these didn't move at all, so we gotta get somebody out there to just tank it.
All those workouts for nothing.
Now, I think that's pretty lame, to be honest. I think no matter what, in any game in the Fire Emblem series, it's always going to be lame. When you lose a unit due to a crit. No one's going to be happy with that. But doesn't he have throwing knives? He's got the steel daggers. So I'd have to just, like, spark up next to him. And I guess I could engage.
This item is not for sale!
There you go. Alright. So that just has a 100% chance to hit. Okay. Cheese. Perfect. And then we're moving him here. Alright, that worked out.
Here I go!
I feel like using Warp Ragnarok when they're right next to you is a little... It's a little much. But it is, you know, a lot of damage with a 100% chance to hit. So... It's kind of hard to refuse. What about the punch? Punch nothing? You can punch this, but not kill it. One off. Shit. Sure.
I cannot fall.
Okay. I think we're done up there. Now, we probably should just park Jade on this fort and stack up. I feel like we're going for a full clear here. So we'll work our way around the sides. I finally hit level 10. Now, if I can get Louis, or Louis, I cannot. And you cannot. So no one's getting onto that fort. In that case, maybe we should back up a little bit more.
I can keep going.
I know. But just back it up a little bit more. Wait for them to come in. Come in they shall, don't worry. That's fine. Here, though, we got work to do. L Surge. Can only be used in close combat. 21 attack. It's pretty good. Alright, who... Oh god, they're all armored. This is gonna be shit. This is gonna be shit. 0. Best I can do is 5 damage with an iron great axe, and I'll take 15 in the process. Fuck. There may be some rewinding here.
Emblem engage.
Override with the armor slayer. That's decent. Not amazing, but decent. Kill that. Diamant can come in. And oh god. Not good. I'm gonna have to rewind, I know it. She even missed. Yeah, obviously that's not great. I think that's not gonna be good. Unless one of them misses. No, I mean, there was a 25% chance there. We're just gonna accept it. That's the point we're at. Is what I'm saying.
Yunaka here.
Whole lot of 0 damage. Probably the bow can just do it. It's a lot of armor though, man. That was tricky. With no spellcasters down here. And then there's this. Where we have 2 spellcasters, which is pretty good. I can't complain. And, you know, we can kind of do some work. Now, if I were to engage with the 3 houses characters, do House Unite, which will not get a kill. You do Raging Storm, which lets you take 2 actions, which probably would get a kill. Bottom line, I'm gonna have to do one of those. And that's crazy. The fact that I guess. And I think we gotta do Raging Storm. Now, I could attack him again, but maybe we just go and kill this dude. I know that she can get a kill. No problem. We may still be looking down... We may still have one, because she's not going to be able to punch this thing at all. And I feel for Alfred, he's probably has to... Yeah, he's going to have to engage. If only for the rapier. He might not have to use the lodestar. Yeah, the rapier will do it. Okay. That works. Okay, so now we need to just hold off for a moment. Because we do have these things that can give us full charges for emblems, which is good. May as well just heal you.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, her emblem is really good sometimes, but most of the time not that useful to me.
Our foes are strong.
But Alear, definitely we're gonna want. So just wait there. Heal him. Good. Good. And you're gonna want to get one.
As your steward.
Do I want Celica or Marth? Probably Marth, I would think.
Here goes.
Epic confrontation coming up. Yep. We're gonna make it happen. We're gonna do it. It's gonna be great. Alright, now, what exactly am I looking at here? It's got 3 soldiers, all with axes. They can't reach the farthest peak here. There's this one with steel hand art. It's probably not too bad. This is a 25 magic attack, though. So while I'd like to put out Louis for the steel hand art, which is going to hurt quite a bit, unfortunately we need someone with a good amount of resistance. So we're going to just put her there. And let's see how it goes.
My father's orders were plain. You will not pass.
Okay. You missed. I hope that makes you happy. And that person didn't even want to punch. Alright, so if we longbow this. Okay, chain guard is up. So we're going to want to, you know, even if you do just 1 damage. That, okay. That was more than 1 damage. That's good. $23. Now again, we have to drain this health bar twice. But I don't think it should be that big of a problem. You have... You have... Thunder. Good. Good. Alright, now Alfred and Marth probably can just load star it down. Yep. Okay, that's guaranteed. So then the rest is just us going to be mopping up these other fools just for fun. Like so. And I guess you probably should engage just for funsies.
Won't you join me?
Yeah, I mean, that's fun. And then you can come over here and engage. Okay. That's all she wrote. I feel like I miscalculated that somewhere. But that's fine. No problem whatsoever.
Father.
And there you have it.
You've won. Please. Kill me.
No.
I will not take your life.
God.
Don't be naive.
Modern Fire Emblem. Um, you know, in some ways the series has come a long way, and in other ways, not so much, I feel. Yeah, okay. Right. So, oh, another thing I didn't mention, and I gotta say, I really have to applaud the devs for appealing to people like me. Yeah, I love it, and probably people playing it through more than once. But you see all these people just sitting around for you to talk to? A bunch of them, when you talk to them, will give you bond fragments, which are really useful mechanically for multiple things. You want as many bond fragments as you can get. But rather than forcing me to just mash through or whatever all these dialogues just for the bond fragments, they put it in where when you go to leave, you are automatically given all bond fragments that you would have gotten had you chatted with everyone. Amazing. Amazing.
The deeper we venture into a...
All right. So, that's that. That's Fire Emblem Engage. It's definitely a very solid entry in the series. Not perfect, you know, it's not like, oh my god, they've done everything right. This is my ideal Fire Emblem. But I think it's quite good. I do think weapon durability should be a part of the series. It seems that some people do not agree with that. I think that's going to be just kind of a contentious point going forward. And it's not a deal breaker. I mean, I like Engage despite it not having durability. I'm sure people that don't like durability still enjoy some games that do have it. I mean, Three Houses had durability, right? Pretty certain. God, they all, I mean, that's been the trickiest thing of doing this whole process, is like the rules of all the games are all just jumbled. It's not like, okay, this is the newest Fire Emblem out, you know, I'm gonna be playing this for a good long, you know, dozens of hours, and I'm gonna really, you know everything about it. It's like, no, I'm burning through these games, so it's all just jumbled in my head. Especially like the fucking Game Boy Advance games. Those are all one big conglomeration of Game Boy Advance. And yeah, I'm very, very, very far from being an expert on Fire Emblem. But, like I said, I can count myself as a fan of the franchise, I think. I've only beaten 2 of the 17 games. Hopefully, you know, there will be many more to come. Of ones that I have beaten. Like, I will be working on that in the future. And I'd like to... I don't know if anyone's really interested. Especially not, like, right now. But I'd like to, I guess, at some point, try doing Iron Man runs. Of some of the games. I don't know. Maybe all the games. I don't know. Some of them are easier to Iron Man than others. Like I said, like Shadow Dragon is kind of designed for that. They throw so many units at you. Others are really tricky to Iron Man. Like Radiant Dawn, I guess, is pretty tricky to Iron Man. Maybe Echoes. I think Echoes. Any game where you kind of use your entire army. Very tricky to Iron Man. because pretty much any mistake is going to snowball. But I'd like to do it at some point. And of course, any future Fire Emblem games will be Let's Played, because as I've said, this is one of the most steady, reliable franchises in video games, where pretty much every game that comes out, even if you may disagree with some of the choices, you may dislike some of the things that they've gone for, changed up with each game or whatever, they're all just pretty solid. It's kind of a least best sort of thing. Maybe not for everyone, but that leads me to my very, very tentative and unofficial ranking of the 17 games. You know, I put this together in like 5 minutes before I started recording this video. This could change tomorrow. This could change in 10 minutes. You know, who knows the exact order of it. I think the general gist of like the ones at the bottom, the ones in the middle, the ones at the top, those are fairly steady at the moment. But again, I need to kind of go through most of these games again and play more of them. A lot of these ones, you know, I made it like a third of the way through or stuff like that. So that's why I'm not, you know, this is very unofficial, very subject to change. But at the bottom, the worst or the least best game in Fire Emblem, and I don't think it's really a surprise or contentious, Shadow Dragon and the Blade of Light. It's really not that bad of a game, and if you recall, like when I first looked at it, I was very pleasantly surprised at how playable it was. But going back to it now, yeah, there's just so many quality of life things. There's so many things with just the speed of the interface and the overall playability of it compared to future games. And the fact that it's been remade multiple times in just better forms. There's very, very little reason to go back and play it. It's not bad at the time, you know. If I had been like 20 years old when that came out and living in Japan, I probably would have thought it was the fucking bee's knees. But as it is, it's at the bottom of our list. Followed by Gaiden. I think some people probably put the first one a little higher than Gaiden, but for me, I thought it improved on most things of Shadow Dragon and the Blade of Light. I felt. There were some negatives, primarily the map design that was really a letdown. But everything else was really ahead of its time. I still don't know if I'd mark it as that playable. If you have experience playing any newer Fire Emblems, but it does eke out a little higher on the list. Then Mystery of the Emblem. You know, this ranks higher due to being on the Super Famicom, some quality of life stuff, better graphics, all that kind of stuff, better sound. But it's still, you know, some of the map design, especially in Book 2, I really am just not crazy about. And overall, it's just kind of, you know, it doesn't do anything that any other game hasn't done better. So that puts it pretty low on the list. I think it is a bit more playable than the first two, but not by a tremendous amount. Then number 4, this is going to be perhaps contentious. Number 4 I put as Radiant Dawn on the Wii. Now, again, maybe I have to go back and play this some more, give it another shot, but that game really just kind of drained the life out of me a little bit. It was so depressing to look at. It was just so dull. It did some interesting things with the gameplay. And I'm trying to even remember specifics of like how the skills work. That's sort of the trouble here, and that's why there's a very tentative list, because I don't have a tremendous grasp on all of the mechanics for each game, just off the top of my head. I'm trying to remember how the skills worked compared to Path of Radiance. I think it was pretty similar. Right, so you could... It had the capacity. Yeah, I mean, I think that's a really interesting system with the sort of interchanging skills and the... You know, you can only equip a handful of certain skills and being able to swap them around and things like that. It has the Yagus, which I think are kind of an interesting system that I probably need to spend a bit more time with. But overall, like, whenever I think of Radiant Dawn, I just think of that dull, depressing grayness. And I don't think the gameplay itself is enough for it to, like, you know, to overcome any of that other stuff. I need to give it another look, but right now it ranks pretty low just off the top of my head. Next up is New Mystery of the Emblem. It's definitely better than Mystery of the Emblem in practically every area, but it's still, you know, a lot of the same maps. There's the prologue, but that's mostly just for, like, tutorial stuff and story reasons. I think it sort of means that you don't ever need to play Mystery of the Emblem if you want to experience that story, you know, and Marth's sort of second half, I guess. But yeah, it's still kind of just uninspired to me, and I'm not too excited to go back to it at any point. But I put it higher than Radiant Dawn because I do think it looks pretty decent, especially compared to Shadow Dragon. I thought there was a definite bump up in just visual quality and enjoyability, but the actual class system, you know, the overall Fire Emblem gameplay, aside from some of the shittier maps, is pretty solid. So yeah, it's fine, but meh, you know, it ranks pretty low. Then Path of Radiance on the GameCube. This one is certainly playable. There's nothing really bad about it, as far as I remember. But at the same time, there wasn't, you know, much like some of the other ones, all the ones that have come before this. There's nothing that it does for me that other Fire Emblems don't do better. I think that, you know, bringing it to 3D was kind of the main draw at the time. I'm sure the story is fine, but none of these games I'm ranking on story. It's all gameplay. So the gameplay itself was just kind of, you know, as expected. It was decent. Again, it has the Yagus in a lesser capacity than Radiant Dawn. But I don't think it really does anything interesting with the 3D aspect other than just being in 3D. Whereas at least Radiant Dawn introduced elevation and stuff, not to a tremendous degree, but it was something. So yeah, I'm sure I'll come back to Path of Radiance. Maybe I'll change my tune a little bit, but yeah, it just kind of is there. Then Shadow Dragon, a really competent remake of the original game. Unfortunately, it looks like dog shit, and I don't know if I'll ever get over that. But it's the maps are decently made. You know, not the best of the series for sure, but decent, and the gameplay is just very solid old school Fire Emblem. It's not fancy, you know, it's not over the top like Engage with all these mechanics and features. It's very stripped down and just distilled into pure strategy RPG stuff. So it's just pretty solid. Number, I mean, I guess I'm working backwards. This would be 9 or something. Is Echoes. Yeah, Echoes, Shadows of Valencia. Again, very competent remake of Gaiden. And overall, this one would rank higher for me, except for 2 things. One, I think the maps are still shit, because they reused all the same maps, which they really shouldn't have. And 2, I don't really care for the 3D part where you're running around in dungeons and things like that. That just kind of bogs the game down to me. And yeah, I mean, there are games with that higher on the list, but mostly this one's brought down by the map quality. Other than that, it's a really good Fire Emblem. I'm lit. My list is in the opposite order. I don't know what number this is, but Genealogy of the Holy War. Really fantastic experience, and one I definitely want to go back through and just play all the way through now that I know a bit more about the game and have read a bit more about it. It's almost like not a Fire Emblem in the way that we generally expect Fire Emblems to be. It's kind of its own thing of depicting this big, larger scale war and these big fields and, you know, maps. And does some really interesting thing with the weapons system where they kind of get better over time the more they get used. They can be repaired, but it's kind of hard to come across new weapons. And just loads of enemies across big scale maps. And, you know, the children's system. And then it goes to a second generation where it's based on the children. You know, all these things, like really interesting stuff. It suffers a little bit due to the size of those maps just being way too big and just a slog to kind of move across. And due to the size of the chapters, you know, if things really go wrong, you kind of need to have a save. But aside from that, just, yeah, a very interesting game in the franchise that I think, you know, everyone should try, which is really why I'm hopeful that they do put out a remake, because that could be phenomenal. Number whatever is, you know, next is Fates. This one, I feel like I need to go back at some point, and at least for Conquest, because I hear a lot of love about Conquest from a gameplay standpoint. I need to go back, play through that, and I think this one could end up being a lot higher on the list. It's just, right now, having played, you know, all 3 versions a little bit, nothing really jumped out at me as like, holy shit, this is phenomenal. But I really want to blame that on just like oversaturation of Fire Emblem for me. I don't love the fact that it's on 3DS, but you know, I'm not really knocking it too much for that. It's mostly just like, I don't know what to say about this, and I'm not like desperate to play it at the moment. So, yeah, it's probably the most tentative one on the whole list of that just could go a lot higher potentially. I just am not sure yet. Next is Three Houses. Really pretty solid gameplay, just from a battle perspective, and I do think that is. I do think it has one of the more enjoyable battle systems and stuff of the series. But for me, it's hampered by, obviously, all the monastery shit. I don't care about any of that. I don't want to fish, and I don't want to see, you know, I don't want to fuck kids. All that sort of stuff. Also hampered, I feel, by the class system as just being too open-ended, too freeform, and probably could do with some restrictions. But I probably need to play it a little bit more to really judge that. So right now, it's just kind of... there's a mod that I saw that removes the entire monastery aspect from the game. and kind of compensates your stats for it in some ways. So I might try playing it with that, because that could be really good. That could just be a solid Fire Emblem game that could rank pretty highly then. I'll see. Overall, it's just, you know, not completely my cup of tea in what I'm looking for in a Fire Emblem, but the gameplay is pretty good, so it ranks fairly high. Then I put Engage. Basically, yeah, just better gameplay, better class system, stripped out some of the monastery shit, and yeah, you're gonna rank pretty highly. Keep in mind, I put together this list right after that fucking nonsense on that level with all the reinforcements that I failed after 2 hours. So maybe it should be a little bit higher. I don't know. But that's where it is right now. I don't really have any massive complaints about Engage at the moment. Again, I wish durability was a thing. I wish they didn't throw DLC items at me without even, like, prompting me. Like, what happened to the days of, like in Monster Hunter, you have to specifically say, I want to download all these DLC items. Now it's just like, here, have silver weapons at the start of the game. Enjoy. It's like, fuck you, dude. I don't want this. So, I don't know. I don't know if I can really knock it for that, but it is where it is. Next, we get into the top 5. This is all pretty muddy. These could change, you know, amongst themselves. But right now, these are the ones I'm most interested or most enjoyed playing through. So we have Binding Blade, followed by Thracia 776, followed by Blazing Blade, followed by Awakening, and at number 1, I put Sacred Stones. So the 3 Game Boy Advance games are all in the top 5. For me, I feel like those are just pretty much peak Fire Emblem. I know the only one I beat of those is Sacred Stones, but all of those just kind of are just exactly what I'm looking for in a Fire Emblem. Nothing overly complicated, nothing overly complex with, you know, intricate systems, marriage, supports, you know, numerous class changes, and being able to customize all your proficiencies, you know, and dialing down and all the. It's just kind of pure strategy RPG in a very colorful and enjoyable presentation with minimal story, bogging it down. And that's mostly what I'm looking for. So I like all 3 of the Game Boy Advance games. I put them kind of in order of 6, 7, 8. But that's mostly because I just kind of need to play through all of them again. Sacred Stones still might be the best. And that could be due to the fact that it is regarded as the easiest Fire Emblem. I didn't really think it was compared to Awakening or... I mean, Three Houses was pretty easy as well. But Sacred Stones has sort of class split. So you can kind of choose your promotions, which I really like. And it's got optional grinding, which is fun. And it's really not that lengthy. And it's got the randomizer for Archipelago. I mean, these all things kind of contribute. But all 3 of the Game Boy Advance games are very solid. Thracia, I put at number 4. Now that's kind of with the caveat that I play with, like, Rewind as a feature for the emulator. Without that, if I was just playing it normally, it would probably rank, like, I don't know, 12 or something like that. Like, it still has a lot of the same pros regardless, but the difficulty would become a big negative, because it is very difficult for a casual player. But with Rewind or save states, I think it becomes just a very enjoyable Fire Emblem experience. You know, gorgeous animations and perfect little sprite work. It's very much like peak Fire Emblem. Then at number 2, I have Awakening. And it's just because, like, I still can't believe that I beat it a second time. It was my first Fire Emblem and one of the 2 from this whole thing that I beat during the runs. It's just a very kind of easy, breezy, enjoyable Fire Emblem to play through. There's plenty of characters, there's plenty of class customization involved. The battles are, you know, fun enough, the maps are good enough, and it's just a really enjoyable Fire Emblem. I did find it quite easy with Donald just soloing everything. So it's not usually a good thing when to fix a game's difficulty you have to restrict yourself in some way. I don't tend to like that form. But that being said, like I said, it was really enjoyable. So it could very well be number one, but aesthetically and simplicity wise, I still prefer Game Boy Advance. So Sacred Stones hit the number one spot, but they could all kind of change a little bit. That'll do it. If you manage to sit through all of these videos, 17 times 3 videos, whatever that is, that's a lot of videos. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed this whole journey. You must have if you watched all of them, but yeah, I certainly enjoyed playing through all of them. I don't know what other franchise I would do this for. Not many video game franchises have 17 games in the main series to go through. And being a genre that I really enjoy and just like playing, that helps a lot. So I'm certain you're going to see some sort of Fire Emblem content from me in the future. I don't know what form that will take, but yeah, it's a good franchise. Very good. Okay, so my name is Mangg. Game you just finished watching is Fire Emblem Engage. The series you just finished watching is Fire Emblem. And I'll see you fine folks next time.